Gentlemen, excellent to be back with you on MGTOW Money. Today's topic, love, knowledge, money, choose two. Before we get to that, thank you to the ongoing support from the Patreon investors in this channel. Welcome Marty, welcome Jossam, the newest Patreon supporters of this channel. As well as I want to sincerely thank those men that bought me a cup of coffee via PayPal based upon the last video. Men, see the video description today of today's video. Become a supporter of this channel. Let's move on to today's topic. Love, knowledge, money, choose two. Men, I used this paraphrased quote a couple of videos ago and it generated some comments, so I thought I would discuss it more so. It is a paraphrase from Nassim Taleb's book, Bed of Procrustes. You can see a link to that outstanding book. It's just a short book of aphorisms that I've listened to, actually. It's a very short listen multiple times now. Again, see the video description today for a link to that book. But basically, at its essence, it's a recognition, men, that, in my opinion, there is no free lunch in life. Let me get into more specifics on that. Everything in life has trade-offs. As the economist Thomas Sowell has said, there are no solutions, there are only trade-offs. Breaking this down, love, knowledge, money, those are the fundamentals of your life. However, you can only choose two. Now, let me get into specifics and let me define exactly what I'm talking about when I discuss love, knowledge, money. Specifically, when I mean love, I'm discussing it in terms of having a family, being married, having children, etc. When I talk about knowledge, I'm talking about an in-depth knowledge of a particular subject, whether you have an in-depth knowledge of aircraft engines, whether you have an in-depth knowledge of multiple foreign languages, whether you have an in-depth knowledge of playing tennis at near professional level, whether you have an in-depth knowledge of being an expert video game player, or going on to the third one, money, of course, where you have serious money. When I say serious money, I'm talking about tens, hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions, where you don't just have a job, you've got a business. And I'm not just talking about a one-man business where you operate some sort of serious, large corporation. Either you are at a very, very high level within that large corporation as an employee, maybe at a C level in that corporation, or you own the corporation. That's it, men. You're going to need to choose, ideally at a relatively young age, as we'll get into in just a second, love, knowledge, or money. The reason why I say this, men, is because we all have, factually speaking, only a finite amount of time. Period. That's an indisputable fact. You have a finite amount of waking hours in the day that you can use. Furthermore, for most of us, of course, we have a finite amount of energy. And furthermore, that energy level is dynamic. It changes. It changes from day to day. It certainly changes as you get older. A man who is 21 will have more mental and physical energy, frankly, than most men that are 61. So the point being is that, again, you have a finite amount of time. That's a fact. And furthermore, you basically have a finite amount of energy, and furthermore, it is probable that your energy level is going to decline as you become older. So therefore, the point is very simple. You need to choose what do you want to focus on in your life. And specifically, you can only focus on two of the three, whether it be love, knowledge, or money. Again, you need to intentionally choose. You need to prioritize which of those two are important to you. Now, let me say right off the bat, there is no right or wrong. I am not suggesting a particular priority for you. There is no correct path. This is your choice, your path, your priorities, the two that you choose. And furthermore, I acknowledge that things may change and probably will change as your circumstances in life change. For example, I am aware of a multimillionaire. I don't know him personally, but this man was very, very focused for the first 20 years or so of his professional life on earning money. And he did extremely well. And furthermore, he increased his knowledge reasonably well as along the way. However, his family, frankly, suffered quite a bit. His wife, children, etc., saw him very, very seldomly because he was very focused on his career, on making money through his business, etc. This obviously is very, very common. It is well known, factually speaking, for example, Warren Buffett, the great industrialist, does not have the great, tremendous family environment. Einstein, another one, who obviously sought knowledge, he prioritized knowledge, did not have a tremendous family environment. The point is, these men chose, whether it be consciously or subconsciously, and I'd recommend consciously, they intentionally chose two of the three to achieve. Now, let me also concede, some men I concede perhaps, possibly, maybe 1 out of 5 on the high side, maybe 20% can achieve love, money, knowledge simultaneously. I suppose that is possible. I suppose they could achieve some sort of balance, if you will, etc. I think, however, for most men, for 4 out of 5, if they're really seeking to take it to the next level, whether it be, again, love, money, knowledge, they've got to make a choice, and ideally an intentional choice at a relatively young age to decide what they want to do. And for the men who are really struggling, and I know based upon the comments many of you are, I know I did when I was a very young man in terms of, I don't know exactly what I want. I'm confused. I don't have it all clear. I get it. Instead, remember, invert the question. Turn the question around. What do you not want? What do you not want in your life? What do you want to avoid? I'll give you a couple of quick examples. For example, when I was very young, I realized I didn't want to take orders from anyone. I didn't want anyone to tell me what to do. When I was a child, I frankly, and many times, I didn't like being a child. I desperately wanted to be an adult, an independent adult, where I could do exactly what I wanted to do, when I wanted to do it, where I wanted to do it, with whom I wanted to do it. I knew that very intuitively, very early. So I knew, obviously, that it turned out that, of course, achieving money was very important to me. So the point is, again, if you're really struggling with this idea of, all right, well, I'm not exactly sure what my priorities are, again, think about what things you don't want, what things do you want to avoid. Finishing, paraphrasing what Wall Street Playboy said, you can see their website sometime. You got a choice, man. You got a choice between you can have the love of your life or you can have $20 million. And they said, what color is my Lambo? That was their choice. So you can imagine what they said. Men, in the comments, leave your two choices. I'm interested to hear what your two choices are. If you found this profitable, hit the like button. John Galt, out.